a legacy that you'll leave?
It was huge for us to kind of turn that rivalry around as a program, and kind of just forget about how they had those 5 wins against us. I think the 2014 team got tired of that. The 2015 team continued to get tired of it. And I think the 2016 team completely shut it down. We're not even worried about that anymore. And we're kind of just changing that label. We're focusing on Clemson each and every week, and we don't really care who we play. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. We're going to go out there and try to dominate.
You feel like the defense is playing at its best right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what we've been preaching the past couple weeks, because I feel like last year guys just got worn down, and we've kind of started sucking as a defense at the latter part of the season last year, mainly just because guys were just dead, just playing so many snaps. So that's kind of one of the main things Coach V's been focusing on, that we want to incline and get better and better each and every day, each and every game, practice, and just continue to improve. And I think that's what we've been doing. We've played a very dominant performance against Wake Forest, and y'all know what happened Saturday.
So. You think playing 10 games in a row last season had a lot to do with that as well?
Yeah, the schedule definitely wasn't in our favor as players, just because it was so grueling as a season and so long. So having the bye week, what was the bye week?
Midpoint of the season.
After the third game.
Yeah, so a little better for us.
Last year.
When was this year then?
This year after NC State.
Yeah, so the mid-season definitely helped us out, just as players, just kind of getting a little bit of a break. And I think Coach Swinney is doing an even better job of taking care of us as players. Kind of the one thing the seniors brought up, I think 2 weeks ago, was helping us out in practice. He's doing shells and taking away full pads. It was the 11th week of the season. So we brought that up to him, and he completely listened. And we're doing shells now. So it's kind of just cool for him to just completely listen to us and take in and just value our opinion. So I think their coaches are doing an even better job. And they did a great job last season, but it was just difficult. It was such a long season. So I think the strength staff, everyone a part of our staff is just doing everything in their power to help us out. And I think that's kind of what's allowing us to be so consistent and continue to improve in the last game of the season. I think that Wake Forest were probably some of our best games as a defense, and it's pretty awesome to see being the last 2 games of the season.
Is that all in line then with the fact that you guys have the experience of getting ready for an ACC title game? You're 1 year removed from that, and maybe you've learned from last year
right.
to make the transition?
Yes, sir. I think definitely that, and the fact that we kind of experienced that we weren't improving as a defense last year, so we kind of went through that long, grueling season. So I think the leaders and the older guys on the team, and especially Coach V, have been preaching that we need to continue to improve and continue to embrace each moment, embrace each practice and each game, and treat it like it's the biggest practice of the season, biggest game of the season. I think we've been doing that. I think that's why that's allowed us to continue to improve every game.
On the hierarchy of goals, you have win the opener, win the division, win the state, already in order.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to win the conference. What is your approach now at this point in the season with the regular season bye?
I don't think anything changes for us. I think we had that same mindset that this game is the biggest game of the season, just like South Carolina was the biggest game of the season, just like Troy was the biggest game of the season. I think that mindset, I know it's cliche, I say it almost every week when y'all ask me these questions, but it's true. That's the mindset and mentality we have. That's what's allowed us to be so consistent over the past couple of years. We have that mentality that this game is the national championship game, and then the last game was the national championship game, and the one before that was the national championship game. And I think we have that mentality all throughout the week in our preparation too, and that's what has allowed us to be such a dominant program.
I know the mentality and the approach is kind of been the same for you guys.
Right.
But how about the demeanor? Coach Swinney had said a couple weeks ago he saw kind of a more hard edge in practice. That was after Pitt. What have you seen?
I think that too. I think the leaders have been just focusing on not really dwelling on the Pitt game, learning from it, growing from our mistakes and correcting those mistakes, but not letting that linger. You learn from it and you grow from it. But at the end of the day, you got to move on. It's in the past. Can't do nothing about it. They beat us, and it is what it is. So So I think the leaders and the older guys in the team have been just kind of preaching that. Yeah, move on from it. We got to focus on Wake Forest, and we did that. Focused on South Carolina, we did that. So now all of our attention is focused on VTech and go out there playing, getting a great game Saturday.
What does it
mean
take
to be
to?
a part of a senior class?
Say it again.
What would it mean to be part of a senior class that wins back-to-back ACC championships here for the first time in 28 years?
It would be huge. Just kind of leave that legacy as our senior class would be awesome. But it's kind of similar to the other question the other day. It'll probably get uplifted by the next senior class. So it's very temporary. But in the moment when it happens, it'll be awesome. But I know probably in the next couple of years, it would be 3 in a row, 4 in a row. So I would definitely be very grateful to be part of that class. So.
What does it take to peak of the defense here in December?
I think it's all about leadership, all about focus, and all about just being mature and embracing each moment, each opportunity we have. I think the guys on our team, especially our defense, realize how fragile and how quick this season's gone by. The guys have done a great job in just embracing each practice, each meeting, each game like it's their last. It's also cliche, but I swear that's the mentality we have, and that's the recipe for our success. Is that we're focused, we're determined to be the best, to beat the best, and it's as simple as that. You just got to be mature about the situation, embrace each opportunity you have, embrace each film session, each practice, and that's what has allowed us to be so successful.
Is there anything that's surprised you about this defense now 12 games into the season? You had a lot of question marks coming
Right.
up as a graduate. Is there one area that maybe has opened your eyes and kind of made you say, wow, I wasn't expecting that area to
I'm not surprised at all. I know the work we put in. I know the preparation we put in ever since winter workouts. I think in all 3 levels, I knew this was going to happen. I knew how hard we worked, and that is what it is. I've experienced it firsthand. I've been a part of the hard work and the preparation, and the mindset of our team. So I'm not surprised at all.
Have you checked out the Virginia Tech film so far? In particular, have you seen Rogers, the fullback guy, and how versatile he is?
Right. Yeah. No, I was watching this morning. I just started this morning. Oh, I know. I watched. Started last night watching. I watched their Notre Dame game. Then I watched this morning. He's definitely a good player, very versatile. Just a good athlete. I think he's very similar to the fullback at Pittsburgh. Can't remember his name, but that fullback at Pittsburgh was a good player. I think they're very similar in their approach and their playing style. I think all across the board, they got great players. The quarterback's very versatile, similar to Deshaun. A little bigger, might be packing a little more pounds than Deshaun, but can throw the ball, can run it. They definitely incorporate him in the run game. Some good backs, solid offensive line. The receivers, really good players. So I think it's definitely a great matchup for us, and we're eager for that challenge.
The quarterback seems to look to run more than anybody else Bella faces here, except for maybe Lamar Jackson. Do you learn from that Louisville tape about how to stop him?
Yeah, just kind of keep just having eye discipline and just realizing that we're not gonna. He's not really a pocket passer. Definitely will sit in the pocket and throw the ball, but he's a good enough athlete where he can run around. So we kind of go into that mindset that he's not like Bentley or some of those other pocket passers we faced. So just kind of having eye discipline and being aware that if we have good coverage, that he's going to pull it down and run it. So we just kind of being aware of that he has that ability.
They've got one of the better and bigger tight ends in the ACC. What do you guys have to do to cover the tight end a bit better?
They usually use him as a receiver, though. They usually use that fullback kind of as a sniffer tight end spot. And a lot of the film I've been watching so far, and I haven't watched it that much, but I watched a decent, solid amount. He's been like out of receiver the whole time. He's definitely a longer dude, and they've been using that fullback as a tight end type guy. So really, just I think we're just going to kind of treat him as a big, huge receiver. I don't know the game plan Coach V is going to use, but he's more of a receiver, I think, for us so far that I've seen than a sniffer tight end.
Will the nickel or corners just have to be more physical with a guy like that?
I don't know. I'm not a nickel or corner, so I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. He's definitely a huge dude. So Coach V will cook something up for us.
How do you feel like this season has compared to last season? Is there anything that's felt distinctly different about this team?
I think we've been more consistent, and obviously everybody's gonna be like, well, you lost to Pittsburgh, but I think besides that defense, that game, I think as a whole, and if you look at it for the grand scheme of things, I think offensively and defensively and special teams, I think we've improved. I think you just got to look at the numbers for that. We've been consistent every game. Our special teams has improved dramatically. I think on all three levels, we've just been consistent and just continue to improve every week. And that's kind of not really what we did last year. We kind of went on a decline at the end of the season, especially defensively, just getting worn out. But I think this year's team has been very consistent. Cool. Appreciate it.